Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 69, one away from 70, in this first batch of recordings for Let's Try Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Hope you guys are doing well, as always. Ready to check out some more Act 1 of this ginormous RPG experience. I don't know how far we'll get in this first batch of recordings. But so far so good. Alright, let's see what's what here.
Rules are made to be broken.
We're about to fight some demons, I think. Wow, he's got quite a heal on him. I guess we're not gonna rest after all. I don't know, but let's see what happens. See if there's any perception checks. Alright, let's head up. Well, let's come here. Okay. Let's get ready to fight some demons. Presumably. See what's what. Faxon. The red-skinned, long-haired tiefling raises his pain-filled eyes to you. A huge magical brand stands out on his chest, freshly burned into his skin. The flesh around the brand is inflamed and has an unhealthy-looking hue. Hey, stop! Who are you? Crusaders! Well, I was looking to add a couple more Crusader heads to my collection and all. Well, I just assume we're Crusaders, though. Where'd you get that idea, huh? I mean, do we look like Crusaders? Oh, right. The tiefling notices the sacred symbol of Iomedae gleaming on the paladin's chest and sighs. I suppose that explains it. Wow, we'll pass this intimidate. I can kill you right now, or I can give you a few more minutes of life if you answer my questions. The tiefling shoots you a vicious grin. You won't be getting out of here alive either way, so why not? Let's have a chat. Who are you? You don't look like a museum worker. I am Faxon, servant of Baphomet, the ranking member of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth in the city, and new master of this tower. And you better watch your mouth, or else my curses will rip your soul to flaming shreds. Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, pledging their lives to Baphomet. These cultists scheme to subvert the good works of the Crusaders. They cause trouble in Crusader camps, instigating fights and egging participants on to greater violence. They spread lies and sow the seeds of fear with voices sweetened by magic. Some have even assumed the roles of holy crusaders and risen in the ranks of other knightly orders, waiting for the moment when their treachery can be used to achieve a most foul end. Faxon, the tiefling? The Aasimar raises his eyebrows. Why, I remember you. You're that little clerk from the town hall. The one who kept badgering me for a bribe to get rid of some bill or other. Well, you turning out to be the leader of a cultist group is definitive proof of something we all know to be true. All bureaucrats are the spawn of the abyss. You arrogant celestial spawn, do you see now? We're everywhere. You look down your nose at Faxon the clerk. Now you will bow down before Faxon the overlord. I'll repeat what I said to you in the town hall that day. I don't deal with parasites. Time for an experiment. A sheet of paper appears in Nenio's hands. Mr. Cultist, allow me to ask, what exactly will you do to us when you inevitably vanquish us? I'll curse your soul, skin you alive, and on you while you lay there dying. 1, 2, 3 threats, and all of them on my list. All of them already on my list. Nenio checks the page and sighs. This specimen of demon worshipping is utterly devoid of ingenuity. I am not certain that his superiors would even notice the death of an underling as lacking in imagination as he. You filthy scum! I'll... So they bend the other way. But you won't be able to scream because I'll... and shove them down your throat. Oh, now that's better. That's much better. Her pencil dances across the page. 2 totally new threats for the encyclopedia. I thank you for your contributions, Mr. Cultist. What are you doing in the museum? For the last 3 months, this tower has served as a cover for me and my servants. I set up my base in the cellar of the local museum and smuggled in an entire regiment of my Templars into the city. It's the ideal place for a secret hideout. The museum was left in the charge of a doddering old man who can hardly remember his own name. When our lord struck Canabras, we plunged a blade into the Crusader's back, and a glorious fight it was. Now Lord Xanthier has ordered us to strip Canabras of everything that might be of interest to him and remove it from the city. He's a great master of the occult and magical arts, and this museum is chock full of all kinds of relics that could prove very interesting to study. Lord Xanthier, also known as Xanthier the Plagued One, is a prominent figure within the ranks of the cultists, yet he is still shrouded in mystery. Not much is known about him apart from the terror he instills in his minions. Xanthier Vang. You look awful. What's wrong with your tattoo? The tiefling gives you a hateful glare. Lady Minago was displeased with me. She branded me with this rune to make me suffer. Minago wanted me to subjugate the demons of our ally Discari, to wrest control away from that idiot Kilas, but I failed. Lady Minago, the powerful Lilitu Minago, is one of the demons whose names in Mendev are always spoken with a curse. She's the author of 2 of the most horrific atrocities in the history of the Crusades, the Fall of Dresden and the Red Morning Massacre of Canabras. But it seems my luck is turning. You don't look like rank and file Crusaders. When I bring Minago your heads, all will be forgiven and she'll remove this brand. I saw you taking a beating from that other demon. Thanks for the show. The tiefling's face twists into a grimace of rage and humiliation. You'll pay for that. Kilos will pay. You'll all pay. No one will dare gloat at Faxon's expense. My curses will be terrifying. 2 Abercandilus, a Dretch, a few cultists. I'll try to get rid of them. Intimidate 21. Disgusting filth. Get out of here before I kill you all. Abercandilu runs. Succeeded. We rolled a 14 for a 29. It seems that Kilas took all the most intimidating and bloodthirsty warriors with him. So they're still alive and they're going to pose us problems later. Only the cowardly rabble have remained behind with Faxon. Half of them quickly turn to flee the tower, with Faxon's rebuking profanities following them as they go. You should have run when you first saw me. Faxon's eyes narrow in fury, and he releases a feral shriek that sets his gang slavering for your blood. The demons and Templars give answering howls to their leader and surge forward to attack. Alright, how do we get down here? Templar of the Ivory Labyrinth. Oh boy, very easy. Faxon, a witch, chaotic evil, okay. Nenio, everybody attack Faxon.
Out of my sight.
And Muljuf.
Cover me, all right?
Sela.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Attack.
And Magdalar. I forgot to heal Magdalar. Who's this? Faxon? Yeah, Faxon. Everybody target Faxon.
I will see your
Wow. Faxon dies quickly. Elzarian, Woljev, Magdalar. Wow. Everybody attack the Abercandilu. Boom. Ooh, charisma damage to Nenio. Nenio falls, but there goes the Templar and the Dretch. Oh, Abercandilu. Boom. Purge the Tower of Estrod. Tell Irbith about the victory. Let's check out Faxon. Faxon has a heavy mace, unidentified, heavy mace of fire, scroll of burning hands, Templar head scroll of inflict wounds, glaive, dagger, and chain shirt. Alright, let's come down and see what's what down here. So we're still gonna have to deal with, you know, those tough members eventually. Press the Digipainter Golem created by Shalenite Adepts, Aslanti Empire, the Age of Legend. Let's see if we can find some loot around here. Push the column, Athletics DC 13. Oh wow, and I forgot to save. I didn't quick save after I killed him, did I? Are you kidding me? Oh, I did. Sweet. I was like, whoa. How did Magdalar fail a check like that? It's pretty interesting. We're heavy, I think. In loot. We can go to the basement somehow by going up the stairs. But for some reason we failed that athletic check, I think. Oh, perception check failed. Perception check failed. No.
Can't hide from me.
There we go. Oh man, look what we almost missed out on. Oh, buckler +1. Not that serious. Alright, let's push the column. Quick save and push the column.
This is not my time yet.
Oh. Death and resurrection. There's nothing behind the column, it's just we could have pushed the column on the enemies. Okay. But there might be some loot back there or something. Alright. We got the loot. What are these mobility checks and stuff? Nothing? Let's see what's up here, if anything. Just, places to attack from, basically. Sorry, we're moving so slow, guys.
Wow.
Oh.
Hello there.
Don't hit the
Don't
trap,
mind me.
sir.
This is my kind of work.
Go to the basement. Push the column here. Ability 11. It's basically just places to help fight against what would have been a greater demon threat had we came here earlier. That's why things change after time. Situations rearrange. Alright, let's head to the basement. Let's see what's what. Should be interesting. We already pulled a buckler +1 and a heavy mace of fire. Let's go to the basement. Interesting. Come back here even. No perception checks. Alright, let's see what's what. Who's that? Telmer. A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Hey, praise Baphomet, what are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I am Telmer, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanther, the Plagued One. And do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I'm compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanther has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Canabras and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault. But there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where is Faxon? Woljif sniggers. Ha! Finest thieves in Mendev. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against them. Masters of our trade, we are. There you go, bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm, trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. No thanks, every person has their calling and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. Where's the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer is out of his mind. So, tell me, where is Faxon? Clear off before I kill you. The half-elf pitches forward but then grabs his bag and leaps away from you. You're lying! You want me to turn away so you can strike me in the back and take the papers that have been entrusted to me. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag as he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanther here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fists and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you to help. No, I want to read what it says. Spit that out. Want some salt or pepper with that? No, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the meal. Confiture. The perfect accompaniment for paper is apricot confiture. How do I know this? An excellent question. As a child, I once ate a piece of my exercise book in front of my horrid music teacher, to spite her. A worthy experiment. Incidentally, did you know that the leather book covers, unlike paper pages, are not fully absorbed by the digestive tract? Good, help the poor wretch. Digging your fingers deep into the hapless half-elf's throat, you retrieve the disgusting ball of soggy paper. Performed an action that was good. The cultist coughs violently and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with a wad of correspondence that is much the worse for wear. Oh, wait, I didn't, masticated letter. A wad of crumpled paper with visible bite marks and traces of saliva. The writing is blurred and indistinct. Most of the words are completely illegible, but some fragments are still intact. Carefully pack up all the relics and valuable magic items and hand them over to the same courier that brought you my potions. Later, I may carve out some time away from my scientific research to sift through the detritus you managed to steal from the Crusaders. I might as well not bother, since your finds will almost certainly be of no use to me, unless I find myself in dire need of a paperweight. Still, this mission keeps you occupied and gives me an invaluable opportunity to work without you sticking your nose into my experiments. I once again remind you that this is absolutely essential to store the potions in a safe place, sealed with a corresponding protective rune. Should these safety measures not be taken, the demons will drink all your stash dry in no time at all, and your master will order me to spend 3 more days at the cauldrons making a new batch. Believe it or not, I have many other important matters to attend to. Should I discover that the potions have mysteriously disappeared, I will try not to look for the culprit. I will not try to look for the culprit. I will punish the person who let it happen, the person who failed to secure them properly. The punishment will be painful, brutal, and utterly inhumane. Remember this. Good luck with conquering whatever you are conquering out there. Xanthir Vang. We've got a door here. Okay, this is where the custodian must stay. Got a chest, herb liquor, wooden plate, 5 gold, almanac of the Tower of Estrod Museum, edible moss and flame tongue. Let's read this almanac. Gallery exhibits. Among the cloudy colossi, in this picture the 2 angels, Targona and Lariel, are chasing and fighting a deadly Vrolic-eyed demon in the air several miles above the world wound. After this battle, the skull of the slain demon was long displayed as an artifact in one of Dresden's inner towers. Sadly, this relic did not survive the fall of the city. Farewell to Sarkoris. Eleandra, the legendary priestess of Pelura, watches the city of Ease crumble into the freshly opened world wound. A caravan of desolate refugees desperately fleeing to seek salvation in Mendev can be seen behind her. Crusader Queen, a copy of the famous embossed bas relief originally created by Master Derek Sunhammer. Young Queen Galfrey is portrayed personally leading her Crusaders into battle on the 1st of Abadius 4624 during the First Crusade. Here we stand and will not take a step back. Hand of the Inheritor, the Herald of Iomade, is depicted placing the first ward stone among the fortifications of Canabras. None will escape my all-seeing eye. Inquisitor Holrune fights a shadow demon that he exorcised from a soldier's body. Seat of Grief, a view of the infamous Heaven's Edge estate. This is the place where most of Mendavian aristocratic society at once fell prey to a supernatural plague unleashed by the demons, a world long gone. A thematic collection of various artists' work on everyday life in Sarkoris before the opening of the world wound. The first triptych is dedicated to the funeral rituals held at the Pelura's Fall Temple for the deceased chieftains. The next cyclist of miniatures depicts various scenes from a woodworker's workshop. This form of craftsmanship held almost sacred status in Sarkoris. Several views of the city of Ease, the masterpiece of Sarkorian architecture, can be seen in the following series of engravings. Finally, the last plating, The Threshold Prisoners, portrays a group of spellcasters imprisoned in the infamous prison tower. The origin of this picture is unclear, but the woman in shackles that can be seen in the background is widely believed to be the betrayer of humanity, Arilu Vorlesh herself. Wow. Yaniel by a fountain. This painting is attributed to Denisa Roche, a soldier from the garrison of Canabras. Denisa was not a professional artist, yet she had one advantage over the professionals who created later portraits of Yaniel the Blue-Eyed. the heroine of the First Crusade, sat for this unique picture personally, which undoubtedly gives it much greater historical value. Yaniel is caught during a rare moment of repose near a fountain in the city. The portrait was presumably painted from life over the summer of 4637, 1 year before Yaniel's heroic death during the battle for Dresden. Reliquary exhibits Wand of Zacharias, the wand of the famous mage Zacharias, who made his name, or Zacharias, during the heroic and tragic siege of the Lost Chapel. As the fortress warden, he sent his apprentices to break the siege in order to save the priests who served the chapel's many gods. Zacharias himself refused to leave the fortress, however, and is believed to have perished in the final onslaught. A popular legend says that the spirit of this brave hero still haunts the ruins of the Lost Chapel, waiting for a worthy crusader to bring back his wand and plead for aid in the darkest of times. This item was donated to the museum by Zacharias' apprentice, Mage Teldon. Vessel of Raylos. This copper vessel and the oil inside it were sanctified by Raylos, priest of Iomade and faithful crusader. A batch of lamp oil has been brought to the Crusaders' camp, and Raylos took the vessel to move it to the storehouse. Raylos' faith was so deep that it made the oil shine all by itself, and the vessel became covered with engravings praising the goddess. This item was donated to the museum by Raylos' fellows in arms. Ooh, a helmet. Helmet of Scrotia. This helmet belonged to Bathistus Scrotia, Paralictor of the Order of the Gate and one of the first Hell Knights to serve his duty as a crusader. During the most unstable and dangerous first weeks of the war, Scrotia saved the crusade from infighting between the worshippers of different gods. When a Hell Knight killed a paladin of Iomade in a personal duel, Scrotia stopped the imminent bloodshed by stepping up for his soldier and taking the blame for his deed. This was far beyond his duty, but Scrotia defended the honor of his order by proposing to wash out the insult with his own blood. Scrotia agreed to be beheaded in exchange for a peace treaty between the two orders. His death put an end to the rivalry in the Crusader ranks once and for all, and his sacrifice will be remembered by all Crusaders forevermore. This item was donated to the museum by Queen Galfrey, Sword of Iomade. Terendalev's Claw. This is a claw taken from the Silver Dragon and Protector of Canabras. It was cut off by demons when Terendalev heroically saved a group of ambushed crusaders from certain death. This item was donated to the museum by the Town Hall of Canabras. We regret to inform you that the bulk of the Third Crusade exhibits is currently not available for viewing. It has been moved to the museum storeroom for restoration and cleaning. Please accept our sincere apologies. Interesting. I hope we can find some of these things. We've got another book here. Angels. Celestials native to any of the three upper planes of creation. Servants of the good gods, angels have come to Crusaders' aid in their fight against the world wound more than once. It is worth noting that most of those who interfered in mortal life were driven by their own free will and not by any deity's orders. However, the good gods do not forbid such impulses, allowing their celestials to seek a reckoning with the forces of evil. Alright, let's take a look in the basement here where these things are being kept and stuff. This copper vessel and the oil inside it were sanctified by Raylos, priest of Iomade and faithful crusader. This item was donated to the museum by Raylos' fellows in arms. More details in the museum almanac.
I'm gone.
This helmet. Okay, we can't do anything with the helmet. There's Teldon. Different rooms and stuff. Let's go talk to Teldon, I guess. Moving a bit slow. 10 gold and a handful of gems. Whoa. Where has that polite young fellow got to? He was going to get a box for the exhibits and then come back here. Wow. Rainbow quartz, 4 gold, incense, old map. Wooden plate, 2 rusty horseshoes, 2 gold coins, and almanac of the Tower of Estrod. A chest. Oh, we're really overweight. 4 gold fine feather, wooden plate. Almanac of the Tower, 4 gold, 2 incense. 3 gold carved figurine, shining shell. You know what? Let me drop stuff because we can always pick it up upon map exit. Let's go wait in descending order. Drop 5 train shirts. And 12 of these, just drop them. They're still heavy. 8 bardishes, just drop them. There we go, now we can move at least. What a mess. Everything will have to be cleaned up and laid out according to the inventory list. We'll talk to Telton in a second. Almanac, silver earring. 3 gold, 2 wooden plates, and a padded armor.
Let's head out.
Not sure why I took that, but okay. Alright, let's talk to Teldon. The old man, looking around, absentmindedly shrinks away as you get closer. 1 second, guys. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as they level a magic wand at you. Stay back! Where are you? What are you? Robber or demon? Hey, take it easy, Gramps. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? They, how should I put this, don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently overrun with demons. Hey, there are horns and then there are horns. I'm not going to hurt you. The old man goggles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower his wand. A rustling comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around fearfully and peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there is no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Who are you? The old man lowers his wand in confusion. I think... His expression grows distraught and mournful, as though he is on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads Teldon, Tower of Estrod Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldon, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me, but at one time my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a battle mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next I can't remember where I've put them. Controlled amnesia, the ability of the mind to eliminate non-essential information. Nenio peers at the old man with suspicion. But what we have here is a case of plain old senility. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket and proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys back in his pocket. The Lost Chapel? Ah, this old fellow was there. That his mind was damaged isn't surprising. What's surprising is that the old codger can still speak at all. In the entire history of the Crusades, which aren't exactly uplifting, this is one of its bloodiest chapters. Some time ago, I wanted to know what became of the abandoned fortifications and estates the Crusaders left behind. I read through the accounts of the Lost Chapel veterans. Now that was a real bloodbath. What are the keys for? Oh, these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrod with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these keys at all times and never be parted from them, not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys were left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who'd strip the museum of all its treasures. What are you all looking at me for? Woljif exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. Give me the keys. Out of the question. According to museum protocol, the custodian does not have the right to hand over the keys to another. I am personally responsible for the safety of the exhibits and the storeroom. Diplomacy 20, okay. We need to roll a 5 or better. Don't you understand? This museum holds things that can help in the fight against the demons. Succeeded. We rolled a 5. Wow. Biting his lip, the old man holds out the keys to you. You're right. I'm just an old duffer. Take whatever will help you and go and defend our city. Got the custodian Telden's keys. Gained 24 experience. Why did the demons spare you? The museum custodian looks at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them breaking into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Canabras was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I've proved a very useful resource. I showed him all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and he wrapped them up, labeled them, and carried them off somewhere. And I've been here all this time. I locked the doors and stood guard to make sure no demon got in, but I've not seen a one of them. Haven't heard any either. I've grown hard of hearing over the years. Oh boy. That half-elf was the demon worshipper. The old man frowns in confusion. What do you mean, demon worshipper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite? But he said the Crusaders... Oh my word, the relics, we must go after them. The old man works himself into a state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets, but the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hand slows and the awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance and then looks at you, wets his lips and sheepishly inquires, Sorry, did you say something? What happened here? The old man burst into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with shaking hands. First, the bell started ringing, and then there were noises in the street. Then the dragon, Lady Terendelev, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside, the thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10, I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were all orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. We know about Terendelev. They grabbed me and wouldn't let me go, and then they looted the place. They took anything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And, worst of all, they took the wand. And when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. The museum custodian looks at you with affront and anguish in his eyes. What wand did the thieves steal? The wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the Lost Chapel, and those scoundrels took his wand, a relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias, and they're just dang thieves. Master Zacharias would return, and he will assemble all of us, his students, and we'll show them. I'll show them what Battle Mage Telton is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes. His spine straightens, and in a fluid motion, his hands raise his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghosts of the past. The old man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. You were just asking me about something. I forgot what it was. Where can I find these robbers? The old man throws up his hands. I haven't the foggiest. They're thieves. They know out-of-the-way places where they won't be found. That's where they are if they're still alive. But they won't be in the city. I heard them talking amongst themselves about how they needed to get out of Canabras before the demons wiped them out. What wand did the thieves steal? Tell me about Zacharias. The old man turns misty-eyed. A great hero he was, fearless but insightful. He never underestimated the strength of the demons. When they laid siege to the lost chapel, it was Zacharias who stood in the breach to rescue the clerics. He understood that we couldn't hold out, but he refused to retreat. He had vowed to defend the temple. Before the final onslaught, he gathered up his surviving apprentices, looked us over, and picked me. He said, "Teldon, today I will die here and leave my comrades behind. Take my wand and bring it to Canabras. Should an hour of great need come, a worthy crusader can take the wand and bring it to me. I will know that my brothers need me once more, and I will come to their aid. Not even death shall stop me." And so I brought his wand and his final words here. I also brought something else. Here. This is why I am the way I am. The old man pokes a finger at his bald head. Fear consumed my mind. It shattered my reason. I was so desperate to forget that terrible day that my memory slowly but surely fled my wretched head. Are you alright? Poor old man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend. Old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and battle mage into the sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who and where I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are out of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young friend. I am very frightened. Tell me about the museum exhibits. The old man seems to come to life. It would take a lifetime to tell you all there is to know, but I'll take you on a tour of the highlights, some of my personal favorites. You should have a look yourself. You won't regret it. For instance, we have a painting here depicting angels fighting demons. Now, you may find it hard to believe, but in the First Crusades, many heavenly beings fought shoulder to shoulder with the Crusaders, and these two in the painting are Targona and Lariel, the Silver Twins as they were called. Lariel, again, was an angel who met his end in the caves under Canabras. Before his death, he was able to seal a shred of his memories and his flaming sword in a rock. The sword disappeared at your touch, but a part of its power entered your soul. And angels are a group of altruistic celestials native to all three upper planes, Nirvana, Heaven, and Elysium. They represent all the multiple interpretations of goodness. The eldest angels were one of the first creations of the primordial deities of good, making them one of the oldest races in the great beyond, and were trained as celestial guardians and servants from birth. Most serve their creators to this day. Most angels in modern times come from ascended good mortal souls, rather than direct divine creation. Sometimes these souls even retain aspects of their mortal forms. I actually met them, when I was a young man studying under Master Zacharias. They had no airs or graces about them. They walked among the mortals. They spoke to us. They healed our wounds. Lady Targona I remember especially well. She had a special unearthly wisdom within her. The angel Lariel, on the other hand, was known for his daring, and the youngest crusaders idolized him. I wonder where they are now, the twins. We don't have celestial beings in our ranks anymore. They all left sometime during the Second Crusade, on a very important mission, they say. But I do love looking at this painting and remembering those days when envoys of the heavens walked among us, and the light that seemed to shine from within them. The old man wipes his eyes. What was I saying? You must be a messenger, yes? Or are you a visitor? Heaven is a plane in the outer sphere, a realm of pure righteousness where the forces of good gather to aid those on less virtuous planes and help worthy souls find rest. Though inconceivably large, it appears to most viewers as a mountain with a mysteriously floating peak. Heaven's residents see law and goodness as largely the same force. Order is the greatest good, and goodness is the greatest order. They recognize the good intentions of the Azadas of Elysium, but view them as misguided children. Similarly, they oppose the lawful evil forces of hell, but credit them with intelligence, and believe that they can at least be reasoned into truces and stalemates, and perhaps even redeemed. Why did those times end? Why did the Celestials not fight with us still? Heaven has not abandoned us, surely. Lore religion check past. You said that the angels Targona and Lariel are twins. But how can angels have siblings? That's a good question. Of course, angels are not born like mortals, so they can't have a mother and father, or sisters and brothers as we understand them. Angels come into being from reincarnated souls or from the pure essence of the upper planes. Sometimes angels may adopt some features of mortals. For instance, they can identify as male or female, although that is not generally their way. Some of them can also develop bonds of camaraderie or even of kinship. But the case of the Silver Twins is rarer still. They are two angels who emerged from one soul. What else should they call themselves if not twins? The old man smiles, seemingly satisfied with his speech, but within moments, his vacant expression is back in place, all awareness gone from his eyes. Go to the Defender's Heart. There are good people there. They'll look after you. The old custodian gives you a toothless smile. Really? It's safe there? But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought, as though trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were, prowling about, wanted to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came in here and I gave them what for? A dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. I have to go. We performed an action that was good. The old man's bewildered gaze follows you as you go. Oh. I really hope they find a cure for Alzheimer's someday in real life. I remember this exhibit. It was donated to the museum 21 years ago. Unlocked. A trap.
Found something.
Wow, traps everywhere.
Pretty good, aren't I? This is my kind of work.
Alright, let's see here.
This is my kind of work.
Wow, chests everywhere. Falcata. Apprentice lockpick and 3 glass. Whoa, worth a lot. Loot a kukri, grace of peace. Whoa. Some food, 4 flour, 2 onions, 3 tainted fowl, purifying solution. Carved beads, 3 gold, almanac, worth money, 2 bloodshot eyes. Yaniel. Paladin of Iomade, the Lightbringer, and Knight of Citadel Dresden, heroine of the Crusades. Yaniel disobeyed her orders by leaving the garrison to venture deep into the world wound alone. 2 years later, she returned at the head of a Crusader squad she'd saved, died during the fall of Dresden in 4638. Pick the lock, 100%.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Ooh, magic essence and a composite longbow and trapping bow. Nice. We'll check out this stuff in a minute. Just looking for any perception checks. Okay, nothing. Sorry I'm so stuffy, guys. I feel like I'm underwater a little bit. Let's come and unlock this one. Got a shining shell, 2 old maps, 128 gold, counterfeit jewelry, and ooh, a chain shirt. Lady Calandra's chain shirt. We've got a book, Zarkorian Faith. Imperial Lord Pelura, Mistress of the Stars and the mysterious light of the Aurora, is one of the most revered deities of Old Sarkoris. Her worship was widespread among the Kelids, who built numerous shrines in honor of their patroness. The foremost of these shrines, considered particularly cherished and sacred, was located on a lake shore surrounded by picturesque waterfalls called Pelura's Fall. Cool. Maybe that'll mark something on our map in the future. We've got 2 gold, 2 grinding stones, and a wooden mug. 3 gold, rusty horseshoe, and a shining scale. And that's it, guys. We have found everything to be found in here. I think that's the last door to open. All the rest of the relics are disappeared.
Let us be careful.
But at least we know there's relics out there that, you know, are stuff we can find later somewhere. The helmet, the wand, the lamp oil, I guess. I don't know what we do with lamp oil, though. Alright, I have to go. The old man squints at you, trying to place your face. I think I know you. You're one of the good ones, yes? Alright, so we leave the loot there. And we should be able to pick it up when we leave the map. I think. Alright, so we are done here. Let's see how long we've been playing. Whoa, I can't see that. 51 minutes. Oh my gosh, time to wrap it up. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this pretty fascinating look at the Tower of Estrod. Appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button, give this video a thumbs up, or leave a comment. Those are 2 ways to let me know that you want to see more, and thus more will get made. Also, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. That said, guys, what is this? Pamphlet depicting a beautiful golem. Huh. The Prestidigitator Golem is an artifact of the Aslanti culture from the golden age of the Aslanti Empire. Made by the clerics of Shaylin, the magnificent magical construct has a number of highly specialized magical abilities that allow it to cast various illusions on its surroundings. Despite the great expense that went into its creation, this golem has no practical function and was used solely to satisfy the aesthetic needs of the Aslanti. In keeping with Shaylinite philosophy, these golems were destined to wander through their cities to improve the appearance of anything deemed insufficiently pleasing to the eye. True to its purpose, each Prestidigitator golem was meticulously crafted without consideration for the cost of the required materials, and as a result, the modern-day cost of such a masterpiece would be truly astronomical. Sadly, most golems of this kind were destroyed in the same cataclysm that destroyed Old Aslanti. This model was gifted to the Tower of Estrod Museum by the Temple of the Sunrise Chrysanthemums in Tian Xia. Huh, and for some reason it looks magical, and why didn't we see that there before? Anyway, guys, as I was saying, if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Would love to have you, and, oh, there's the basement, this way. And yeah, I would say stay tuned for more. Feel free to join me next time as we explore and actually head back to the Defender's Heart, I think. I think that's where our next steps will take us. Very cool stuff. So I hope to see you guys then. Whoa! Vision of Targona. The translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings! Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna load, guys, because I don't know where I saved, actually. Where did I save? Okay. I saved we were headed back upstairs. We're gonna do that next time. Just so you know. Okay. We'll grab the golem paper. The flyer. Grab that, and then we'll save. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy. Let's keep it rolling. Much more fun to be had. See you guys then. Ciao for now.